Today we are going to look at the best MTG creatures that are untouchable. So very, very hard to target. Or you target and it basically does nothing. Alright, we got the Dragon Lord Ojutai. Now this is a blue-white 3 generic 5/4 Elder Dragon. That's right, respect the dragons. It's a 5/4 creature. Now it's got flying because it's a dragon. Although I should say, not all dragons can fly, alright? You're like penguins out there. Now, it's got hexproof as long as it's untapped. So if you're sitting back in your chair, you know, basically doing nothing, you're untouchable. Somehow you're more, you know, it's safe to stay at home. However, when Dragon Lord Ojutai deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. That's value. You gotta don't tap itself. Give it vigilance and basically it is indestructible. Nothing is gonna get through this thing. All right, we got Will Anderson with the Kira Great Glass Spinner. I like this one. Now, technically speaking, if you throw enough bombs at this, it will get through. We have the blue 1 generic 2/2 Spirit with flying. This is like the original shield counter creature. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. You come after my Kira, you come after any of my creatures, pa! Get your own sandwich. Back off, get your own sandwich. But I only have one back off, get your own sandwich per creature. Then you're gonna steal my sandwich. Alright, we got Saint Traft. Geist of Saint Traft, to be specific. The Geist. Which means it's a ghost. It's a blue-white 1 generic 2/2 Spirit Cleric with hexproof. That's right. No, you can't even target it even if you wanted to. But I can. Whenever Geist of Saint Traft attacks, you create a 4/4 White Angel creature token with flying. That's tapped and attacking. Exile that token at end of combat. Alright, so long token. I still think this is an underrated card. Maybe not for Commander, this has no purpose there. But in one-on-one Magic, this is like 60-card Magic. It's still like a 3/3 you can barely deal with. I guess there's more Edict effects these days. Okay, this technically counts, I guess. Norin the Wary. Yeah. It's a red 2/1 human warrior. However, whenever a player plays a spell or a creature attacks, wow. You gotta be cautious around here. You know what? Norin the Wary's still alive because Norin plays it safe. You remove Norin the Wary from the game. Return it to the turn to play under its owner's control at end of turn. Wow, I attack. You attack with something? I'm getting out of here. I heard there was a spell. I'm getting out of here. Oh, it's nice and quiet. That's the way I like about this. I have a bad feeling about this. Look at the puns coming from Norin the Wary. He's just playing it safe. I live by the rules. You know, it's too dangerous to play it so safe. Urlik! Nimble Mongoose. Nimble Mongoose! They printed this into Modern and it went absolutely nowhere. So that's actually so sad. This card had like a decade of terror in Legacy and then gets printed in Modern and it was just obsolete immediately. It's a green 1/1 Mongoose with Shroud. Means it can't be targeted by spells or abilities. But it's got Threshold, so it gets +2/+2 as long as you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard. Our first super chat coming from Backtard. Thank you very much for the super chat. You've got the Slippery Bogle. The slipperiest of both. Do they have another card? It's called Slippery Bog Bonder. Also has hexproof. Well, we can save that one for later. Slippery Bogle, we got for Simic, a 1/1 with hexproof. It looks, you know what? It looks stupid, but then you play against someone who plays auras or plays the Bogles deck, suits it up with, you know, Rancor, Daybreak, Coronet, and then you're no longer laughing. At that point, you need some really specific answers to deal with a creature that you're not even allowed to kill. All right, next up. Oh, Slippery Bogle. So sorry, you got super chat sniped Toads. Bryce with Progenitus. Who needs hexproof when you have protection from everything? The double Wooburg, a 10/10 Hydra avatar. Protection from everything. And now if Progenitus would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal Progenitus and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. The soul of the world has returned. This used to... I can't believe this is actually still worth money. Look at this. People are still willing to pay $5 for a Progenitus. I got some Progenituses in my binder. You want to pay me $5? I've been looking for a buyer for basically a decade. This was a Grand Prix promo once, and I was so incredibly disappointed. This is the Grand Prix promo? Like, how many decks need a double Wooburg 10 mana card? Not very flexible, in my opinion. Flooded the market of Progenitus. I guess it was a good thing because it's still holding value even to today. Tavashel with Narset. The Enlightened Master. How many Enlightened Narsets are there? Narset, Enlightened Exile, Enlightened Master. That's it. 2 Enlightened Narset is very enlightened around these days. Okay, we got a 6 mana 3/2 Human Monk. First strike and hexproof. And whenever Narset Enlightened Master attacks, exile the top 4 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast non-creature spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. Isn't this a combo card? Pretty sure this is like a pretty hot commander deck. The idea being you keep looking for cards that let you untap and attack again. So you just keep this chain going. Gotta keep that gravy chain going. Look, it's only 4 cards and I got a 9-9 card deck. We're gonna keep attacking until the cows come home. We're gonna have... Okay, Bell. Octavia, Living Thesis. What the hell is this? It's like sort of a new card, and it's 10 mana. It's an 8/8, and it's an octopus, which means it has 8 legs, hence 8 power. It's got like the little squiggly legs. The spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard. I should submit this to my brother, who would love it. 8 colorless mana, 8/8 creature. 8 ward 8. Nobody has enough mana for that, unless they're like the Progenitus player. All right, I have 10 mana for my Progenitus. I can sacrifice just a little bit mana, take down your Octavia Living Thesis. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power and toughness 8/8 until end of turn. What a win more card! What an absolute win more card. Oh no, maybe not. Hold on, so it costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instant. Okay, maybe this is more possible. Why isn't this see play? This is not too hard to cast. This is like Murktide almost. No evasion, but like nothing can kill this thing. You can like turn your Ragavan into an 8/8 creature. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, yeah, I bolt you, turn my Ragavan into an 8/8. I think this thing's great. Slow-mo is good for my arthritis. I'm recovering from my sniper wound. Invisible Stalker. The worst type of stalker, the one that you cannot even see. Like the people online. Okay, 1 blue and 1 generic. It's a 1/1 hexproof human rogue. Invisible Stalker cannot be blocked. Oh yeah, you want... If you say the wrong thing, I'll block your account immediately. And then you'll just make a new account. Yeah, you really are invisible. The Invisible Stalker can make an unlimited number of accounts on any platform. All that concerns me is the vampires. Sense of smell and those freezing Nephalian nights. And frankly, I don't think they're even afraid of the vampires. Oh boy, with Vashta. Vashta Narada. This is someone in a spacesuit. Oh, it's an alien. It's a 3-mana alien. It's indestructible. Indestructible? Do I count indestructible? Because you can actually target this thing. So you can target it. It is touchable. It just won't die. I like the thing. So we're gonna stay on like hexproof, ward. What else? Yeah, this is disqualified. What did it have? It had shadow. It's pretty neat, I have to admit. Okay, next we got a super chat from Clarinet Guy. What do you got, Clarinet Guy? Etherling. If you have the mana. 6 mana. Is this like one person, or is this someone just moving so fast that it looks like there's 2 people at once? It's a 4/5 shapeshifter. Yeah, I think it's one person. It's like the thing. It's a blue. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Oh yeah, you're never even gonna. It's impossible to get to this thing. And also for a blue, it's unblockable. And also for a colorless, you can either pump it up, +1 +-1, or shrink it, -1 +1. Pick your poison. Jim Day, I'm late to the party. Did we do Geist? Yes, we did Geist. I can't speak English. What? You changed your name, Sylvan Safekeeper. Keeping things nice and safe. It's a 1/1 for 1. Human Wizard. Sacrifice land. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. It's interesting. That is very interesting. This thing's like $15. It must be good. You know what? That is like my barometer in Commander. If the card is expensive, like, I mean, it may not necessarily be good, but it's definitely like popular. But popular usually means that it's good. I once knew somebody who bought all the expensive cards, but the thing is, sometimes they were like expensive cards from Standard, and they were just like a niche mythic that was only good in one deck, but not good anywhere else. But they you know, it was like $25, so they bought it and put in some other random deck where it had like no purpose. And after a while, I realized, oh wow, you just buy the expensive cards thinking they're good, without looking at the context. Wonder if anyone else knows people like this. Usually these days, though, like, if the card is expensive, it probably is good. Again, unless it's a standard playable. Her name says it all. Phage the Untouchable. Is she? Phage the Untouchable. For 7 mana, it's a 4/4. Enters the battlefield. If you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game. She's actually incredibly touchable. You can literally, well, you can't Doomblade her. You can Swords to Plowshares her. Disqualified. Are you gonna get the other half of this, Christopher B? Slippery. Hold on, Slippery. Bog Bonder. The Slippery Bog Bonder. It's a 4 mana 3/3. This Bogle will guide you through the woods, I guess. It's got Flash and also Hexproof. When Slippery Bog Bonder enters the battlefield, put a Hexproof counter on target creature. Then move any number of counters from among creatures you control onto that creature. Wow! That is a thing. Move any number of counters from among creatures you control onto that creature. So basically, they can you put all the good stuff and get ganged up on. Phage the Untouchable, as per the title. That was disqualified anyway. And you got sniped. You got screwed on both ways. You knew what you were doing. I'm gonna give that one to Bulku, a true name Nemesis. It's funny how bad this card is in Commander. It's actually bad in 60-card formats now, too. 3 mana, 3/1. ETB. Sorry, no. As it enters the battlefield, not ETB. Choose a player. I'm going to choose somebody at the table. Has protection from that player. That means this creature can't be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything controlled by that player. Try to anger the gods? Won't work. Try to wrath a god? That does. It's funny how that works, huh? You can't beat God, true name Nemesis. Your hubris will be your undoing. Oh yeah, my namesake, Arcanus the Omnipotent. Does he have hexproof? Oh, you can return him back to your hand. Okay, 6 mana for a 3/4. Draw 3 cards. That's good value. Hold on, where's a good sound effect for this? That's a lot of cards. Also for 4 mana, return Arcanus the Omnipotent back to your hand. It'll cost you a lot to keep this alive, but I mean it's worth it. Farewell can mess all these creatures. Nothing is safe. Yeah, well, there is no like solution to someone just blasting the whole board. There is, like, basically these board wipes are like flipping the table, and there's no protection from that. No one has protection from table flip. Kelduin, the Phyrexian Vindicator. Phyrexian Vindicator has flying, and if damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage. When damage is prevented this way, it deals that much damage to any other target. Actually, it's very targetable. Disqualified, but don't worry. Don't worry, Kelduin, you can choose an unlimited number of times you may redeem yourself. Another Stanel with another daily for, what is this? Mortis Strider? The hell is this? Mortis Strider? I'm gonna put Strider up. Mortis. You spelled this wrong, I think. L-M-N-O-P. Oh, Mortis. Wow, did you blow that, Stanel? Okay, we got a 3-mana 1/1. It's a skeleton. And when it dies, return it to its owner's hand. That is the... You will not understand the point of this show. You're not getting it. Who gets it? Bacon Catbug is gonna get it on the second half of all this. The Crystalline Sliver. Unfortunately, you sort of need to be in the Sliver deck in order to make any good use out of this. It is a blue-white 2/2. All slivers have Shroud. You try to target at this thing, it just bounces right off. I don't know a comic book villain or hero that this relates to. Is this like a Superman thing? You just shoot him with a bullet and it just reflects off him like nothing? Zach Doe, the Kappa Cannoneer. Cannon, or no, I didn't spell it right. Cannon, the Kappa Cannon. What is Kappa? Isn't that like a Twitch term? Like that's Cap? Is this like a troll card by Wizards of the Coast? Are they trying to be hip or something? We need to be a little bit more in tune with the younger generation. We gotta say that's Cap. Okay, it's a blue 5 generic 4/4. It's got Improvise. Your artifacts can help cast the spell. That's like Convoke. Why don't they just call it Convoke for artifacts? Wouldn't that just made sense? We have to really make a whole new... did we really need to make a whole new mechanic for this? Ward 4! Not the right sound effect for this, but yeah, good luck paying that. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Kappa Cannoneer, and it can't be blocked this turn. No blocking for you. Kappa is a turtle-like Japanese folklore creature. Oh. Where'd this come from? Neon Dynasty. Okay. Gotcha. What's next? It's a Japanese yokai. I'm learning things every few seconds. Okay, we got King Ginger's Fleece Mane Lion. A classic. Unless you're a cat player, if you're playing Cat Kindred, you probably know what Fleece Mane Lion is. White-green 3/3 creature with Monstrosity 1 for 5 mana. As long as Fleece Mane Lion is monstrous, it has hexproof and is indestructible. You get the double whammy here. Can't target with spells, and also the table flip. Protection from table flip. Thank you very much for that suggestion, King Ginger. Kappa. Oh yeah, everyone's telling me it's a turtle. Okay, Azra. The Smoke Shifter. Or Smoke Shaper? Is there a Smoke Shifter? No. That's it. We have a black 3 generic 3/3 with ninjutsu. Enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. That's not really within the name of the show. Very... If anything, this makes some other creature untouchable, but this one can be blown up by a lightning bolt. Definitely can be blown up by lightning bolts. John Hodel! Tyrannex Rex. Oh, it looks like a centipede to me. It's a giant squirrely centipede. Okay, 7 mana for an 8/8. And it can't be countered. Sorry, counterspell players. And also Trample, Ward 4, and Haste. It's gonna be off to the races. And it's got Toxic 4. Like, what does this not do? But most importantly, it's got Ward 4. We'll say Ward 4 and higher is going to be the bar because no one ever pays that. Or it's very, very, very difficult to. Welcome, Bell, for Untouchable Trolls. The Thrun, the last troll. Thrun, the last. Is that true? Was like this like... Oh, anyways, thank you very much for the super chat. Is this literally like the last troll that they made? I call bull crap on that. Creature, troll. Search with these options. Pretty sure... Look, this... This is even newer. That's a troll warrior. Wasn't even the last troll. Flavor fail. Anyway, it's a 4/4 with hexproof. But back then, back in my day, we called it can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. And also, you can regenerate it for a green 1 generic. Also has protection from table flip. Luis, Angelic Overseer. Angelic Overseer, a 5 mana 5/3 flying, as long as you control a human. So basically, the human makes you indestructible. It gets hexproof and indestructible. What the hell is the lore to that? It's like I am a guardian protector, or I'm your guardian angel. But if I have nothing to protect, I cannot be protected either. Bacon Cat Book. Fun fact: hexproof's working name was Ascetic after Troll Ascetic. That's that insider R&D stuff. Okay, John. Would Mistcutter Hydra count? We'll take a look at it. Mistcutter Hydra can't be countered. Protection from blue. Close but no donut. It needs protection from everything. We'll have like another show that's like worst MTG creatures that are untouchable, because like it nichely is untouchable versus some creatures. We'll do that in 2 weeks. You mark your calendars. Maybe we'll do it next week actually. We'll alternate. We got best this week, we got worst next week. So we're gonna donate your super chats to our Korean fellow over here, Palinkron. Oh, because you're gonna bounce it? We got a 7 mana 4/5. It's a flying illusion. Ooh, here's my hocus pocus tricks. You want to see a magic trick? Here's my magic trick. Enters the battlefield. It's like I didn't even pay mana. Untap 7 lands. This is like that magic trick where they take $1 bill, tear it in half, and then it's $2 bills. They keep tearing it in half, and then they have a handful of money. When I do that magic trick, I lose an entire dollar bill. And also for 4 mana, return Palinkron to its owner's hand. Yes, Palinkron, quite the illusion, quite the trick over here. Emrakul is almost untouchable, but still. Oh, you mean the OG Emrakul? No, that actually. So like what? One card can kill Emrakul? Again, I don't know what can kill Emrakul. Can anything kill Emrakul? Is there anything that says destroy target colorless creature? Or destroy target creature in colorless? So 15 mana, 15. Flying protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. Oh no, but it can be hit by abilities. I forgot about that. Yeah, Solitude can, yeah, all of a sudden. Who would win? Gigantic pile of spaghetti or one elemental boy? Okay, next up. Let's take a super chat here. Kagan, does the Tesseract count for this? It might. Or Teresk. The Teresk. The Teresk. It has haste and ward 10. Holy crap. As long as it was cast. I'll allow it. You super chatted. This is like, it's for 1 turn, it's basically untouchable. Whenever it attacks, it fights target creature defending player controls. Basically, it's gonna go down with something. I'm gonna start a fight. I'm not gonna my stamina is not that strong, but I'm going down with somebody here. Yeah, we're 15 flying squirrels. Emrakul versus 15 flying squirrels. It's gotta be flying. And also the squirrels, it actually should be 21 flying squirrels, because you need to sack some squirrels to the Annihilator. We got Klepto with Nor. Oh, we did Nor in the Wary. Sorry about that. Toilet Duck, Insidious Mist. Quite insidious. 4 mana for a 4/4. Vampire Wizard. Pay 1, discard a card, and transform the elusive Tormentor. And it turns into a... Ooh, what the hell is this? It turns into a 0/1 hexproof indestructible elemental. Looks like it just turned into literally bathwater. It can't block and can't be blocked. And whenever Insidious Mist attacks, and it isn't blocked, which it cannot be blocked, you may pay black and 2 generic. If you do, transform it back to a 4/4 creature. That's weird. Okay, next we did Progenitus. Are we running out of cards already? You gotta be more niche now, people. You gotta look at those cute niche cards. Okay, we got Sorin the Dark Lord by Emperor. The Dark Lord. It's Sauron. 6 mana for a 7/6 ward. Sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. That's a heavy cost to pay. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, amass Orcs 1. Whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. Oh my god, this ring. Do I do what it wants me to do? Or do I do what I want to do? Whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. That's a lot of value. Better have legendary artifact or a legendary creature in play. Get your... You gotta sacrifice your commander. Dies to Grave Pact. Only if you have a legendary artifact. Okay, Beam Pot. Philip thing. Phoebe... The Philip Thib. Which one? I'm assuming the OG. It's a 2 mana 1/1. And when it enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card. If it entered from your library, it was cast from your library, you get to draw 2 cards instead. Basically, it's a 2-for-1 deal today. And when it becomes the target of a spell, shuffle Philip the 2 into its owner's library. It's very you know, Philip's hold on, when they had a tag team characters in one set, did they pair Philiptha with Nor in the Wary? That would have been an excellent combination. We did Nor in the Wary, Pacers fan forever. Fibblethip, that's how they pronounce it. You know what? I don't care. There's no vowels in this thing, so I can't see how it's wrong. You know, this is somebody's name. You know, it's like this person's name was actually Foltho, but the writing is so bad that the person registering their, like, driver's license read the O's as B's. Alright, next up. Starfire Dragon with the Argothian Enchantress. For the Enchantress players out there, they love it. It's a 2 mana 0/1 with Shroud, but when you cast an enchantment spell, you draw a card. This thing's untouchable. I've so many times want to get rid of this damn thing on the board, and it just keeps drawing my opponent more value. And it's a druid, if that matters. Oh, you heard the music, everyone. And it is time to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Oh, you know where I'm going to be tomorrow? No, sorry, not tomorrow. In 2 days. The Fusion Gaming Open, April 27th to 28th in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. They're going to have Modern as their main event on Saturday, Pioneer on Sunday. Be there or be square. Also, a bunch of side events, including Commander CEDH and more. Get your Outlaws of Thunder Junction singles while they're hot and fresh and ready. They got fresh singles ready for you. For pay to upgrade your Commander deck. You all need to upgrade your Commander decks, your Pioneer decks. I'm upgrading my Pioneer deck. Not with any of these cards. I honestly don't even know what's in the set. I'm basically working with the scraps of the last few sets because I have no idea what's going on here. Also, don't forget, I guess anyone in Winnipeg, Manitoba, 35% trade-in bonus. Get it while it's good. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu when buying all your cards to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Play all formats you want to your heart's desire on Magic Online. Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and more. And also, don't forget that when you're renting cards to play any deck that you want, use coupon code Nikachu _7LH for 10% off your first 2 months. And now back to Untouchable Creatures. Like our Argolian Enchantress friend over here. What's in her neck? It's like some sort of cat? It's a cat lizard monkey thing? Everyone's guess is as good as mine. Or is that her hair? No, that's a cat. It's a lynx. It's like a small lynx. Tiny lynx. Okay, we're getting the super chats are piling up. We gotta get to them hot super chats. Angelic Overseer. I think we did that one. That's the human one, right? Sorry about that. You got, I don't know if you're a snipe, but we're gonna donate that one to your friendly neighborhood idiot, Carnage Tyrant. Ooh, it's a dinosaur. It's a 7/6 dinosaur. Can't be countered. Trample hexproof. Only for the low cost of 6 mana. I think that's pretty efficient in the grand scheme of things. Larry Law with Absent Angel of Hope. This one is an 8 mana creature. But it is an 8/8. Flying, Vigilance, and Indestructible. Attacking does not cause this to tap. And other permanents you control are also indestructible. No, wait, but they can all get targeted. Oh, this is disqualified. Indestructible don't count today. You know what's a good test? If you play Swords to Plowshares on something and there's no resistance to it, then it's disqualified. Indestructible don't work on this show. We did Invisible Stalker. We've already run out of cards, apparently. Would prevent damage be considered a form of untouchery? Nope. I've given you the bar. Swords to Plowshares. If Swords to Plowshares resolves with no problem, then you have a problem. Frenetic Efreet. By the way, you're also allowed to share bad cards. Oh, this weird card. Okay, we got 3 mana 2/1. Flying. And then we're gonna flip a coin. You like coins? Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. If the flip ends up in your favor, Phonetic Efreet phases out. Otherwise, bury your Phonetic Efreet. It's a really high risk, high reward proposition over here. It'll be protected. Well, in either case, it's untouchable. It either died on its own accord, or it phased out. King Ginger, we did warn the wary. You were there! I swear you were there. Okay, we're gonna give this one to Swords Exiles, though. This is about being untouchable. We're not talking about being indestructible. The title said nothing about indestructible. The title, you read the title. You gotta go back to the title, people. Okay, Ferginka, Blastoderm. Dermatologists all around the world are disgusted by Blastoderm. Okay, it is a green 2 generic 5/5 beast with Shroud. It's got Faded 3 because this creature enters the battlefield with 3 fading counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a fading counter from it, and if you can, you have to sacrifice it. Blastoderm, you burn bright, but you burn short. Short but bright. Okay, Rafal, Niv-Mizzet. Which one? Oh, Supreme? Does he got like a Supreme hat on? There's no Supreme merch on this guy at all. Okay, this is a Wooburg 5/5. Flying hexproof from monocolor. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard that's exactly 2 colors has Jumpstart. Okay, you know what? Good enough. You know what? I said if it shows any resistance to like Swords to Plowshares, we would count it. So okay, you got me. Good enough. We did the Tarrasque. Okay, let's get to some more super chats. Emperor Wagnoth. The hell is this? Is it related to Scragnoth? Why is there some bigger super chats I have to get to? Okay, we have a 4/5 with Split Second. And it's got Shroud, and when a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Cragnoth, return it to your hand. Wow, that is weird. So protection from Liliana the Veil. Is this like super? No, it's not super flash. It doesn't have flash, but you play it and it just instantly resolves. It's basically another form of uncounterable. Ooh! Rainbow of Freets. This is... Oh my goodness. We have a 4-mana 3/1 flying. And it's going to phase out. A beauty made more so by its fleeting visitations. First you see me, now you don't. Okay, we got Velocity Arrow here with the Soul Flare. Soul Flare. This doesn't have hexproof or anything. Okay, if a creature... Oh, I see. So if you... Okay. I'll count this one. It's a 6-mana 4/4 with Delve. Now, if a creature card with Flying was exiled with Soul Flare's Delve ability, it has Flying. But the same is going to be true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. So if you build your Soul Flare deck properly, with a Hexproof creature, you delve it away into this thing, your Soul Flare is untouchable. The name looks like SpaghettiOs. SpaghettiOs. Chef Boyardee. Okay, who doesn't have a card yet? The fact that people consider Future Sight as old now makes me so upset, yeah. There's still a lot of prophecies yet to be fulfilled. Michael with Autumn Willow. This is a very old card. Oh, Autumn Willow, the 6-mana 4/4 with Shroud. And for a green until end of turn, Autumn Willow can be the target of spells or abilities controlled by target player as though it didn't have Shroud. What the hell is this for? Why would you want to self-sabotage yourself? Like, the whole point of this thing... Well, I guess back then, like, Giant Growth might have been a thing. I don't know. The pump spells. That was a green thing. You pumped up your creature. You had to do that back in Homelands. Ugh, this templating is just gross. Okay, Jam Day, what do you got for us? You have Fleeting Image. It was fun back in the day. Very frustrating to deal with when 7th edition drops. What happened in 7th edition? Okay, it is... This came out first, didn't it? Oh, this is Urza's Legacy card. Blue to generic for a 2/1 flying, and pay 2 mana, return Fleeting Image to its owner's hand. I have no idea what happened in 7th edition to rain on your parade. Well, we got sniped, old boy, and it's so you yourself can target it, Nikachu. Huh? Oh yeah. Oh, you mean the Autumn Willow? Okay, Arcanus. You have Thrun, Breaker of Silence. But is it a combo breaker? Okay, it's a 5-mana 5/5 troll shaman. Not the last troll though, apparently. Thrun was full of crap being the last troll. Unless Thrun, the era of Thrun took like a million years into the future. This spell can't be countered, and it's got trample. Thrun, Breaker of Silence can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control, or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control. And as long as it's your turn, it's also very indestructible. They tried to make this thing as tough as possible. I got 2 sniper wounds. Yeah, go watch out for them snipings. Bacon Cat Bug with the Troll Ascetic. The OG, huh? Solid creature, especially for the time. 3 mana for a 3/2 with Hexproof, and you could regenerate it. I'm sure, like, people who played, like, Doomblade back then just completely lost their crap over this thing. We did Slippery Bogle. Emiliano was Sphinx of the Guild Pact. Sphinx of the Guild Pact. It is a 7-mana 5/5. It is... How is it all colors? That doesn't make any damn sense. It's literally colorless. Oh, I cost colorless to cast. I'm an artifact, but I'm all colors at the same time. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Flying hexproof from monocolor. And it's a 5/5. Not bad. Next super chat. It's a big one. We got from Justin. Thank you so much. Going to show my inner noob here. But Pearl Lake Ancient. What's so noobish about this? It was one of my first mythics opened. I remember really annoying opponents in draft with it. It's not even that old of a card. Well, actually, I guess it is. Khan's a Tarkir. That was like 10 years ago. Man, time flies. Okay, we have a 7-mana 6/7 with Flash, and it can't be countered, and it has Prowess. Ooh, it's got a very awkward ability. You can return 3 lands you control back to their hand and return Pearl Lake Ancient to its owner's hand. I guess the theme is it comes back with the water. It's like when you take a goldfish out of the tank, you have to take it with a bag of water. You got to do the same thing with your Pearl Lake Ancient. You have to need big Ziploc bag. You have to get a big one. I'm sure Urza designs them in his factory. Does he have a factory? Yeah, Urza has a factory, right? For big Ziploc bags for your Pearl Lake Ancients. Does Ragavan's count with its dash ability? Absolutely not. Eco, Sigarda. Host. Oh yeah, that's a 5-mana 5/5. It's got flying, it's got hexproof, and spells your opponent's control can't cast you to sack your permanents. No, making me sack it. You take your all is dust and you can dust yourself with it. Go dust yourself. Next up, we've got Ecos. Nazahel. Nazahel. I don't know. What is this? Primal Tide. Mystic Remora. Old Grown Up. Oh, is it? Tiny fish become big fish. 7-mana 7/7. It also can't be countered. You have no maximum hand size. This is the Reliquary Tower. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you get to draw a card. And discard 3 cards. Exile Nezahel Primal Tide. Return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Very creative. You have to discard 3 cards. Well, you got one for free from whatever the hell your opponent played to target it. You got one freebie around there. Yeah, making me feel ancient here, saying Khans is old. Wow. I remember Khans of Tarkir. Everyone's like, wow, oh, we got to invest in our fetch lines right now. They're never going to reprint them again for a million years. They're sort of true about that. Those fetch lines didn't get reprinted for a decade. I guess that's the bar. Got to reprint fetch lines once a decade. Okay, done. I wonder if Asarak, the Archleech, counts since it never stays on board. There's the battlefield. If you haven't completed a tomb, return Asarak to its owner's hand and venture into the dungeon. It does, doesn't it? So you have to, like, when it attacks, there is some. There's a battlefield. If you haven't completed, yeah, you have to complete a dungeon first. I'm not gonna count that one. Luca, Angelic, Overseer. Oh, we did that one. Sorry about that, Luca. Sandwich. We got a ham, cheese, and bologna sandwich. Erebos, God of the Dead. I guess all the gods are untouchable. Because if you don't have devotion, you literally can't target it with any removal. Except for enchantment removal. We have a black 3 generic 5/7. I guess all the gods count. As long as your devotion to black is less than 5. Erebos isn't even a creature. There's not enough devotion to the god disappears. You must believe. Your opponents can't gain life. Also for 2 mana, pay 2 and draw a card. It's a very creative way of getting these cards on the show. Next up, Agent Sphinx from King Ginger. Sorry, Argent Sphinx. Argent Sphinx is a 4-mana 4/3 with flying. It's got Metalcraft for a blue. Exile it. Return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Activate this ability only if you control 3 or more artifacts. Little blinkaroony around here. Okay, we are in the third half of this show with 1 million super chats, so I'm gonna blast through all of these. Some of these are definitely sniped one way or another anyway. Just some guy who does what he wants. Minthara. Merciless Soul. I think it is a fun one. There's actually another one called the Absolute. Okay, this is a 4-mana 2/2 Elf Cleric with Ward X, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Bizarre. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, you get an experience counter. And then creatures you control get +1/+0 for each experience counter you have. Oh, I see. So I keep sacrificing things and I get experience. Strange. Mean Bruley with Tyrannix Rex. I'm sorry, Mean Bruley. That one got sniped. We definitely did Tyrannix Rex, which means we will give it to the freebie section. Actually, do you have another one, Mean Bruley? Didn't you get screwed? You got screwed last show, too. Mean Bruley! Where are you? I'm going to keep an eye out for you, Mean Bruley. We did Quagnoth. Pedgeman. Bearer of the Heavens. Does it count? You can kill it, but be prepared for the consequences. Well, then it doesn't count. How many creatures are like this? When it dies, everything sucks. Yeah, do some searching. Look it up, Mean Bruley. I gave you some credit, like 3/4 of the way of the next the last show, where you did a super chat and I had to restart the stream. So it's like your super chat just disappeared. We did Phage. We got disqualified instantly. Screw the Immortal. Can't remember how this is worded. You may cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard from exile. No, that doesn't count. People are terrible. Stanel. Gaia's Revenge. Alright, it's a 7-mana 8/5. It can't be countered and has haste, and it can't be the target of non-green spells or abilities from non-green sources. That is very weirdly worded. Emperor, Old Boy's Redemption, and a favorite of mine, Autumn Willow. Oh, you both got massively sniped. We did Geist the Saint Traft. SB with Trasite? You know what? It looks exactly as it's named. It's just it sounds like some sort of bug from some family of insects that I can't. Oh no, it's not even a bug. Well, a lot of artifacts look like bugs. It's a 2-mana 1/1 construct. Trasite enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it if you didn't cast it from your hand. So if you get sneakily got it from the graveyard, it got like a bit of an upgrade. But when it dies, exile it with 3 time counters on it and it gains suspense. We can get even bigger in the future. No, I don't really want to count this, to be honest. It's very touchable. You can keep targeting. It's the same thing like Squee. Like, you know, I know it's like gum on the bottom of your shoe. You can't get rid of it, but you can still target it. It is quite touchable. No, Mist Hologriffin definitely doesn't count. Kano D's suggestion of King of the Oathbreaker. King of the Oathbreaker. We have people giving credit. Like Ecos. King of the Oathbreakers. 4-mana 3/3 flyer. When King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control becomes the target of a spell, it phases out. I like that one. When the King of the Oathbreakers or another spirit you control phases in, create a tapped 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. The fact that it gets this last one gets suspended for so long. Where's the last one? Maybe I can count this one. Maybe I can count this Trasite. It just feels like it's gone for a long time. You know, like your removal actually did something here. Pacers fan forever with the Ovika. Enigma Goliath. There's a lot of Ovikas. What the hell? Ooh, it's a 7 mana 6/6 flying with Ward 3. And you have to pay 3 life. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create X 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn. Also puts a bunch of bodies on the board. Okay, next super chat coming from. I'll get back to you, Pacers fan forever. Let's get one from Marcio. Outre Jelly. As long as you have a +1/+1 multiplier. So if we do enough work, we can make it untouchable. Okay, it's a green axe trample. ETB with X +1/+1 counters. And it's got split. When it dies, it add 2 or more +1/+1 counters on it. Create a token. That's a copy of it at the beginning of the next end step. The token enters the battlefield with half that many +1/+1 counters on it, rounded down. So it's like that villain in these games where you cut it in half and then it becomes 2. And you gotta cut them in half and then it becomes 4, huh? I don't really want to count this, but I guess I will. It's a bit of a weird one. Alright, Pacers fan forever, you also have Sphinx of the Final Word. Yeah, some people want to get that final word in. It's a 7 mana 5/5, and it can't be countered. Also has flying and hexproof. Alright, someone's listening to the show. Instant and sorcery spells you control can't be countered by spells or abilities. This is a pretty sick card, in my opinion. Uncounterable, untouchable, also makes your instant and sorceries untouchable as well. Did Mean Brutally come back with a card? Okay, we got Jadzi. The Oracle of Arcavios. Hopefully it hasn't been sniped. Not yet. Okay, we have, it's a dual-sided card. 8 mana for a 5/5 human wizard. Discard a card. Return Jadzi back to your hand. It also has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, reveal the top card of your library, and if it's a non-land card, you may cast it by paying 1. Rather than paying its mana cost. That's value. What's the other side? Journey to the Oracle. 4 mana sorcery. You may put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield, and if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card. If you do, return Journey to our Oracle back to your hand. Interesting. You can't get rid of any of these things. Alright, next up. Thank you very much, Jess. Sphinx of the... Did we just not do that? We did this one right here. Was these our back-to-back super chats, or did you get that? I think I got this from the public area. Sorry about that, Jess. You got sniped. Yeah, donate. Or was that a super chat? Do people not look at that super chat history? We did Nimble Mongoose already. Yeah, MC Hambre. Can't touch this. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. I can't go through that song too much. I'm gonna get copyright striked. David Howler, Priest of Possibility. It's not even a real card as far as I'm concerned. It's an alchemy card. It's a 2 mana 2/2 core cleric. ETB, look at the top 7 cards of your library. If a card among them has flying, it perpetually gets flying. Oh, and it's the same thing with, it's like a Soul Flare type of card. You might find the hexproof card, and then it's hexproof. Very situationally hexproof. Bladed Agent is not untouchable. It's unblockable. Those are 2 different things. All right, Kay, again. What do you got for us? The Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Ward can be brutal. Ward is brutal. And Ward counts on this show. 7 mana for a 7/5. It's got Prototype for 3 mana 3/3. But the bigger side, Menace, Lifelink, Ward, pay life equal to Phyrexian Flesh Gorger's power. Oh my goodness. You have to put a down payment on my blood. Alright, next up, King Ginger's Aladamria, Lord of the Leaves. God, this art is ugly. Okay, it's a green, 2/2. All elves gain Forest Walk. And elves cannot be the target of spells or abilities. Hold on, is it? Okay. Oh, this actually gets disqualified. So the Oracle text says, other elves have Shroud. Other. Which means it does not include, it does not include Aladamri, Lord of the Leaves. What a weird thing. Back then, it was like, it says all elves have whatever, but this thing was a legend. It wasn't technically an elf. Then they gave it the elf type, and then all other elves got it. Michael with Moltani. The Morrow Sorcerer. It is an 8... Sorry, it's a 6 mana legend. You're a legend, Moltani. Actually, you're an elemental. Its power and toughness are each equal to the total number of cards in all players' hands. That's neat. It can't be the target of spells or abilities. It can be a big, beefy creature. That's ridiculous. Yeah, well, that's the rules. Same thing with Lord of Atlantis. All my other lords get +1/+1 in Island Walk, but not Lord of Atlantis itself. Lord of Atlantis can't save itself for its own life. Can guide other people through the water, but can't guide itself. How pathetic. Okay, we got Marcio, the giant super chat, with Inala. Archmage Ritualist. That's just how much I dislike Eminence. Oh, that is such a great point. Eminence creatures, just leave it in the command zone. Whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if a Nala is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you can pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. Token gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. Is this like the wizard of all wizards? The wonderful Wizard of Oz. Tap 5 untap wizards you control. Target player loses 7 life. If you have 7 wizards, if you have 5 wizards in play, just attack them for that 7 damage. Isn't as easy as that. Steve Cooper, Eradicator Valkyrie, and also donate 2 for chat. You got it. Eminence was a very, 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 very bad mechanic. Was a very stupid mechanic. Okay, we have a 4 mana 4/3 Angel Berserker. Flying lifelink hexproof from Planeswalkers. Okay, what has it got? Bow, sack a creature. Each opponent sacks a creature or Planeswalker. Whatever. Okay, you super chat. I'm gonna pass this, but really I probably shouldn't. Hexproof from Planeswalkers, that's not hexproof from a lot of stuff, in my opinion. Okay, first donation to Pacers Fan Forever with Edgar Markov. What a brutal card. Just cast, yeah, it's got Eminence. You cast another vampire spell. If Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you get a 1/1 creature. This should be illegal. You cannot get, like, you don't have to pay mana to get this stuff. Unbelievable. Just free 1/1 vampires. Now that's a buff. That was a huge buff. Old boy is like, I'm surprised we haven't looked at the Wall of Denial. Denied. Just kidding. This 3 mana wall. It's a 0/8. It's got Defender and Flying and has Shroud. If you need to block a lot of things, Wall of Denial. Although, to be honest, I prefer that jellyfish. Although you can't really target this this jellyfish cannot be targeted because it's a wall of complete denial. This is a wall of Imagine 100 people with their hand out in front of them saying, "Back off, get your own sandwich." That's what the wall of denial is. You've been denied. Denied my sandwich. Pacers Fan Forever. I gave you one of those free super chats. You're super chatting as well. Voya, Jaws of the Conclave. Oh, it's that new one. It's that new card. 5 mana, 5/5. Is everyone scared of this thing? I heard you are all scared of this thing for some reason. All the commander players, they pissed themselves when they caught sight of this card. It's a 5 mana 5/5 wolf, vigilance, trample, and ward 3. And whenever it attacks, put X+1/+1 counters on it. On each creature you control, where X is the number of elves you control. I mean, like, you get to draw a card for each wolf you control. It's not bad. Ward 3 is rough. You know what's rougher than Ward 3? Ward 4. Stop complaining. You stop it. Who uses targeted removal anyway? Isn't it just like board wipes are us? It's board wipes or bust. I'm just kidding. Like, I think Commander, at least competitive Commander, is moving more into like a mid-range territory. People literally play removal spells now. This is broken. Lots of elves make wolf tokens. Why? The elves and the wolves. They are one. They sleep together in the forest. Okay, Kagan. Minthara. Whatever the hell this is. Merciless Soul is pretty decent. 4 mana 2/2. It's an elf cleric with Ward X. Oh, we looked at this one. Sorry about that. You got sniped too. We're gonna donate this one to Marcio with a Hex Drinker. If you put enough down payments on your Hex Drinker, yes, it'll be have protection from everything. Starts as a 1 mana 2/1, but everyone has to start somewhere. And then if you level it up to leveling up costs 1 colorless. If you level it up to 3, you have protection from instants. And then when you level it up to 8, you have protection from everything. I've done it. I am just 8 mana in debt. I don't know how I'm gonna pay it off. It's not what I was thinking about, but now I have protection for everything. I've graduated level up school. King Ginger with Nazahel Primal Tail. Did we do this one? Primal Tide. Yeah, that was the put 3 things back. We did Geist. I'm gonna take a look. Anyone not get a card? Don't know if Kano got a card. Silhana, Ledgewalker. Two mana for a 1/1. It's got hexproof, and it can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. It's one of those creatures you try to get out cheap and early and start smacking your opponent for a few points of damage. You suit him up with those aura cards. MC Hammer, literally. I think this is literally... Just to be sure, this is not a card, right? I'm pretty sure this is not a card, and I can donate this. Yeah, this is not a card. Can't touch this. Nikachu, did you comment on the new leaked Merfolk? It's amazing. That's my take. It is amazing. Dream Trawler. From Ikaya. Oh, this card is 6 mana for a 3/5 flying and lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, the Trawler gets +1/+0 until end of turn. But whenever it attacks, you also draw a card. It works out both ways. Discard a card, Dream Trawler gains hexproof until end of turn, and you have to tap it. I declare my attack. Oh, you try to destroy me, I will just tap it. So basically, if... It's actually a funny thing. If you can attack, you draw cards. You don't need the other ability. But if they target it, you have to discard, but you're not allowed to draw cards. So you have to keep exhausting those random cards in their damn hand. Okay, Bacon Cat Bug. The Saruman of many colors. For David Sampson. See that, David Sampson? Bacon Cat Bug looking out for you. That doesn't look like Christopher Lee at all. Okay, we have... You know what it looks like? Can I get a picture of this? Okay, so I don't think this looks like Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee was the guy. You know what this sort of looks like? What's his name from Pirates of the Caribbean? Johnny Depp! It's Johnny Depp Saruman. It's like it's Saruman, Saruman the whatever, Saruman of many colors. If Johnny Depp took the role, when they do the remake of Lord of the Rings, maybe Johnny Depp will one day take up the stand to do Saruman. Looks like long-haired Doctor Who. Man, maybe it does as well. Anyway, it looks like a white-haired, bearded Johnny Depp to me. I see that pirate here. Okay, okay, well, we have a card to read. We have a 6-mana 5/4 Avatar Wizard. They're avatars, are they? With Ward, discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. That's pretty wild. And whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. When 1 or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant, or sorcery card with equal or lesser mana value than the spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exiled card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. I have no idea what this card does, but rest assured, it probably is card advantage. It's probably card advantage. Okay, next up, we got Star with the archetype of Endurance. Archetype of Endurance at the 8-mana 6/5. Oh, creatures you control have hexproof. That's just a 1-up on that Aladimri's card. Creatures your opponents control lose hexproof. Sorry about that, opponent. And they can't gain hexproof either. And King Ginger gonna finish it off with 8.5 tails. 8.5 tails, white, 2/2. 2-mana target perm you control gains protection from white until end of turn. And just in case the spell's not white for an extra mana, target spell or permanent becomes white until end of turn. Actually, before we end the show, who did not get a card? We did Norin the Wary. Starfire, you definitely got cards. Who did not get one? Lil Panic! Runetail Kitsune. Flips to protect all your creatures instantly if it's your commander. So if you have 30 or more life, you flip it on instantaneously. What a card. And then it says, prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control. Not only that, this is an enchantment, which actually still qualifies for the show, because it cannot be targeted. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We did Aetherling Midi Owl. You didn't get one, Mordrak? You must be lying. Venom Thrope. It's a 3-mana 2/2. Flying Death Touch Hexproof, that's it. So simple yet genius. Can't target it, but I will definitely block one of your things. Ragavan is Ragavan is not an untouchable card. Especially when when it's in the ban list discussion. It's very likely to get, it has been banned at least once in one format. Many more to go. Alright, I think that's it. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. We had a good show. It was a great show. And as usual, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or use Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people can be part of the show. And thank you very much for being here this afternoon. We got to talk like people like Bell and Hunter Strong, Stanel, Toads, Old Boy, Ferginka, Mordrak, Toilet Duck. Well, we have PM, Christopher B, Starfire, Dragon, Meaty Owl, David Sampson, Kerosene. This phantasmal image count? In some capacity, yes, but actually, no. That's very funny. King Ginger, Toilet Duck, PM, Pacers Fan Forever, Tavishell. We have Dan, we have Kano, because you guys are the show that makes it every day. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.